Hello, my name is Becky and welcome to Get to Know Becky. In this channel, I will be sharing with you guys my story life. I have been receiving a lot of DMs in my different platforms that I should share my story. For that reason, I opened this channel to have this conversation with you guys. I will kindly subscribe, comment, share, and hit the notification bell so when I post next, you will be the first person to know.
3, 2, 1, action.
So here is the story, and I want to take you back where it all started. In the beginning of my life, first of all, I am Becky Akinyi Ayuago. That's my full name. I am a Luo. I was born in Suba. Suba is based in Homa Bay County. So all my life, I grew up in different places, but still I'm a Suba lady. So I am a family from 7. I am the second born. I have one brother and remaining one sister. I have a single parent. My dad passed when I was 2 years old. So that is long time ago. My dad passed long time ago. I don't even remember how it looks like. I've been living this journey of life with my mother and my other siblings. In my village, it's interior, let's say that. It's a very interior village. In my village, it's a very interior village, just like I say, very interior. There is nothing like hospital or market or supermarket. I believe you know our interior area, how it looks like. My father left me and my big sister and my mother. And my mother was a very young woman, you know. I think she was 20s when my dad died. So she was a very young woman. So she remarried. But I had a big brother, step one. So that means my dad had 2 wives. My mom make it the second wife. She was the second wife. So the first wife had 2 children, a boy and a girl, and they're older. Actually, I didn't even know the girl because she got married when I was too young. I came to know her when I grew up. So we grew up with the other one. All my life he has been there, not all my life, but those duration. I was seeing him. He was a huge, big man. Yeah, and he resembled my father. So if I have to know my father, I will look at his face. So when in our village I will use this language, this my mother tongue for you, so you can get it because I don't know how to say it. Anyola, we call it that way. So people like that told my brother a lot of ugly things about my mother, and he started disrespecting my mom, disrespecting all of us, my mother, me. He was feeling like he's bossy, he's the controller. He will go to the mountain and shout at my mother's name like he is the husband. He will come home with canes, like he flogs me. So I was a young kid. I used to pee. So I used to pee in the bed. So of course you know a kid at that age I was 7 years old. I used to pee very badly, and it was not my fault. Number 1, I was a kid. Number 2, it was for my dad. My dad that was kind of like a disease or something. So I used to pee in the bed, and my brother took advantage of that. He used to flog me. Every morning. I don't know if you wake up in an interior village where it looks so cold and it's so freezing. So he used to flog me with that cold. So that is the day he flogged me. So I was running for my life. The pain was too much for me. He followed me. He gave me a hot slap on my face. I passed out. And he kept on hitting me. So I woke up from my passing out. And he kept on beating me because of the main reason was I used to pee. So the fact that I'm peeing, that's why I got all the beatings. And also, he was so disrespectful because of what people were telling him about my mother. And he didn't, I don't understand how come he started mistreating my mother. And my mom has always been there for him since my dad passed away. He had his own house. He was a man that has his own house. So when things get worse, we had two houses. There was big one that is a circle like this. It's a circle house. Hiyo ndio nyumba kubwa. Na kuna ya kona ndio nyumba kubwa. Alafu ya circle ni kitchen. That's how we put it. Na zote zilikuwa nyumba za nyasi. So our big house ilianguka, it fell down. So we shifted from the big house to the kitchen house. And this kitchen house, it started falling, like unaona kwa wall hivi hizo matope zinaanguka because it was old hadi uko juu. So when the rain comes inatunyeshea kwa nyumba. And my brother was there. It's not like he could not do something about it. He could do something about it because he's a grown man and he has already built his own house. So he can help my mom fix his house. Her house, I mean. He didn't put any actions. And you know, it's a taboo for a woman kupanda huko juu kuweka nyasi. So my mom did that. She had to do it because unakaa kwa hiyo nyumba unanyeshewa, but there is option. The option is apande huko juu aweke nyasi. So annoying part it, ataweka matope kwa nyumba, kwa wall ya nyumba ili sianguke. You know, when the wall is wet, it can fall anytime if you're not careful with it or if it's not strong. So my mom alikuwa naika tu nini for ishikilie tu ifunike hilo shimo. But these people, someone will come with their donkeys and cows and those, you know, when donkey feel like scratching his body and a scratch kwa wall. So the donkeys will always scratch their body and my mom's house wall. And it kept on falling. Na ni baridi. So my mom was like doing zero work. So we decided to funga manguo ifunike hizo walls tusionekane, but still it was very empty. Muta naeza ingia, all these animals zinaweza ingia, ilikuwa imetoka. So we used to cover it with some kagunia ama manguo. We used to sleep down there on the floor. So life was not fair those moments. And I thought like one day things are going to get better at that my young age. I was like, just for some duration. So the worst part was my mom got pregnant. My mom was remarried and these people never helped her. She remarried first, she gave birth to my brother. She remarried again, gave birth to my sister, and then she stopped there for some time. Then later she remarried again and got pregnant. You know, so when she got pregnant to my smaller sister, that was smaller one, mwenye anafuata huyo sahi yako form 2. Sasa kuna mwenye alikuwa anamfuata. By then my mom almost died with her pregnancy. So before that she got pregnant, things happened here between me and my brother, my big step brother. He started hitting me, beating me, and taking advantage of me. There is a night he sent me for an errand. He sent me to a home, someone's home. That go to so and so home and borrow a knife for me. I was home with me and my younger brother and there is a step brother of mine. Like his dad and my dad are brothers. So you know he's like my brother. So we were with them in the house. Then my big brother sent me an errand. Go to so and so and get me a knife. So I was like, okay. It was very dark, and if you've lived in the village, the interior one, forget about this village that are close to markets and lights. Though by then there was nothing like light or electric something. No, it was dark. Maybe you use your phone light, which is to Lulu. I'm out to me a torch. Yes. So I went to bring the knife for him, and then when I came back, we were with him. I went to our house. I found him there. He ate our small food. He was not even providing, and he was a man. he ate our small food. My mom was not back yet. So he left me here in our house with a knife that he sent me. Then he went to his house. Then he started shouting my name. So I was called Rebecca. Rebecca! He was shouting. I said, the knife, you haven't bring it. So I went, I'm like, the knife is here. I gave him the knife. And then after giving him the knife, he started touching me. I'm a very tiny, small lady. I was fat, I had a lot of nyama. I was a little bit fat at my young age. So I had a big body a little bit. And he was 20s. He was a big man. He was an adult, He was a big man. So he started touching me and telling me, if you beat tomorrow, I won't hit you. If you do this tomorrow, I won't do this. So I was like, I don't get what was going on. Until he laid me down. Of course, my mom was not there. He laid me down. He did his things, I can't use those words because it's annoying me. He laid me down. He slept with me once, and then I thought that was the end of it. And then my mom, the worst thing that my mom did, my mom moved us from our house to go and sleep in his house. So that was the worst part now. And I was the only person that was sleeping at my brother's house. My other guys, they said they're sleeping at mom's house. So my mom told me, okay, Rebecca, you go and sleep at his house, And my mom, according to her, she never thought like something like that could happen because this guy is a huge man and my baby is very young. So I don't think there is nothing. She never even think of it. She never even tried to. So I was going through all that pain by myself because number one, he threatened me. He was like, if you tell your mom, I am the one spending the whole day with you here, guys. Your mom goes to work and she comes back around 10 or 11. And tomorrow she's waking up early as possible, and she leaves to work and comes back at that time. So you better behave yourself. And so he threatened me, and he also pushed me so hard into it, and that's what happened. That was my first rape. I was 7. So let me say that's the guy that took my virginity. I don't know what to call it, virginity or what, because that was very young age, And then I thought that. So he kept on doing that over and over, and the beating is stopped. So there is a day I cried so loud when he wanted to do that. I got the slap of my life that day. And then, but he didn't do it that day. The following day, he flogged me for peeing. He flogged me so harsh because I refused and I shouted, and he was scared. So he flogged me. That was the last time he flogged me on peeing in bed. And then he started now continuing with his raping thing. From 7 to 9, when I turned 9, that's when the rape stopped. It didn't stop like permanently. Then my nieces came over to live with us in the same village. When they came, they started like, they were the same age with my brother. They were also very huge. There were 2 men, and they came with their mother. So the mother was not friendly with my mom. Their mother, my niece's mother, they were twins with my dad. So of course they are nieces. I don't know if I'm saying it wrong, but they are nieces. So they came home at those huge ages to live with us. They left their father's home and came to live with us here. I started fighting my mom. When my mom cook, they eat the old food. Sometimes they deny my mom meko, or she can't cook before them. They cook, they use. Unaona kitambo kupata unga ilikuwa sio ngumu sana, but hakukwa na kushiaga. Pesa ya kushiaga ndio ilikuwa shida, because unajua unga unaweza enda utoe mahindi kwa shamba ama nini. We used to eat brown ugali a lot, So they used to fight my mom. Oh, we upiki saa hizi. mimi ndo napika wa kwanza. And my mom was so disrespected by the people around there. People looked down on her a lot, and they did see her like somebody, you know. So my mom was that like, this is my husband's house and I'm not leaving. But my mom didn't know what I was going through as a person. I know you guys are wondering, where was your big sister? My big sister lived with my grandmother all her life. She was taken to my grandmother when I was too young. When I was two, actually after my dad died, she was taken to my grandma. So she lived with my grandma for the longest. So she didn't experience life with mom and us. I was only going through this by myself. And then my nieces, they started the rape too after my brother stopped. Because I think my brother stopped because they came. My brother was feeling like, these people are going to find out I'm doing this. And these people, they didn't care that my brother will find out. They're doing the same thing to me. So their own was a little bit worse to me because they tortured me too. They put me on the floor. There were two people, but they were agreeing on something if they want to do it. So they put me on the floor. There was a window. Kwa nyumba yetu kulikuwa na kawindo kadogo hivi na face the other side, and then it was very big, a little bit bigger enough you can put your head and your body like this. So the bigger brother for my niece, my two nieces, that was a little bit bigger one, yani bigger kimwili, he told me, sit down. I'm sitting down, he's flogging me, and take off your clothes, and started putting sticks on my private parts and started slapping me. I'm like, this is not necessary. You know, I'm a child, but my brain is now getting bigger every single day because of the things I'm going through. He told me, sit down, take off your clothes, then open your legs. Sit and open your legs wide. I'm like, okay, whatever. I did that. And then they started laughing at me, looking at each other, putting sticks on my private parts and doing their things. And the other one is laughing, and this one is laughing, and this one is beating me up and also doing their stuff. So all of that, never told my mother. I never, ever, ever told my mom. Thanks God, they left. They left to their town. When I turned 10, they left. And then my mom got pregnant again. After she got pregnant, the pregnancy was not good. She got pregnant, she's about to deliver. And this in our village, there was so many witchcraft. Gwasi. Witchcraft is in the high level. So there is someone bewitched my mom. Let me say that. With a pregnancy in her belly. So, you know, and there was no hospital. There was no like hospital that she can be rushed to or something. Alikuwa nazaa kwa Nyamrerwa, tunaita hivyo. Nyamrerwa alikuwa nazaa huko. Kwa hizi manyumba zenye unajua hawa mama uzalisha watu kwa manyumba. So, that's where she was taken. She was taken in that there was this specific mother she was so in good terms with. They liked each other a lot. So she went to her and to deliver. That day there was a homey lady that died. She was called Achil. She died, and then it was midday, like Sasaba even. The sun was so hot. It was so sunny, and then my mom was in labor, so she was taken to this Kamama's house to deliver. The baby was so big for her, so the baby died while being delivered. That's how the baby died. When the baby died, she struggled with it to remove it and all that. And then she started bleeding. You know, bleeding. She bleed a lot. Like she was bleeding so much. You know, when the only thing that makes us feel pain in our body is blood. If something cut you like this, it's the only reason you will feel pain. It's because the blood comes out. So my mom turned yellow. There was no blood in her body, not even a dot of a blood. She turned to a yellow. I don't know how I can make it looks like. And then she was not feeling pain anymore. She was so weak. She couldn't walk. She couldn't take herself for peeing, long call, or anything. At that age, I started struggling with her. I started taking her long call, short call. So I used to go to the mountain to fetch firewood and sell. I used to take them to Nyandiwa with my bare foot. The solar will hit me, the sun was too hot. My interior village got dry. So it was too hot, kuna mawe inakufinya finya, but you have to struggle with this situation yourself. Me and my stepbrother, Uyo Babake and Babangole brothers, So we used to sell firewood together. We go to the mountain and fetch firewood and sell them to the market. The only money we were making was only 20 shillings. And these 20 shillings, sometimes my mom says that I want to eat yams, I want to eat this, I want to eat this. So that small money, we will branch and get her something that she asked that she needed. So we did that with my stepbrother, and then we come back home. And that's how we were trying to help mom survive. And I was washing her blood. She never stopped bleeding. The blood used to come out a lot, all the time, blood. So I was washing her blood, taking her for long call, taking her for short call, washing her body. So I struggled with her. She was I was like her mother now. And now she's my daughter. She was my daughter by then. I struggle with her. Then she's a prayer warrior, I must say. So she kept on praying a lot, even in her worst situation. And then one day, my mom's background, they were not that bad. They were a little bit wealthy, a little bit. They were stable. Let me say that. They were not starving like the way their daughter was struggling in Suba. So one day, my sister came home, and my grandmother was worried about. I think when your daughter or your child is going through something, you will feel it as a parent. You feel like something is wrong somewhere, and the only something is wrong is my daughter. I think she's in the worst situation. So I think that's how my grandma felt. So she sent my big sister. She came. She brought us the things that we missed. We missed sweet potatoes, rice, those beans, a lot of things. Because in my mom's village, those are so many in their areas. So she brought us that with some sweets, because we were kids, so we love sweets. We love candies and all that. So she came, she brought us all of that. We started enjoying life. So we went to the market, me and my stepbrother. So when we were coming back, we started hearing the smell, the sweet smell from the gate. I was like, what? So when we got home, we were also wondering. First of all, we hear the smell of rice. The rice was smelling sweet. So like, nani ametutembelea, and what's going on? And mom, of course, my mom can't walk. Of course, she's not out of her bed. So what's going on? So we came when we found our sister, and that was fun. It was the best. And then she brought mom some drugs and all that. And then my uncle, my big uncle, is a doctor. So he asked mom to be taken to his hospital in Kadem. My mom is near Kadem. So my uncle had a pharmacy in that center I am kina mom. So we took mom there. She got treated. She got a little bit better and all of that. My mom is that woman that will never leave her husband's home no matter what. In all those worst moments, the way I went through hell in that village, my mom still, after she got better, because we moved all of us to our grandma for my mom to get treated. When she got better, she said, I'm going back to my husband's house. I was like, wow. I could not imagine myself living around my brother and living with my brother and all that maltreatment and everything. I was so worried as a person, as a kid. I was imagining how a lot of things have happened to me those times. So I was like, okay, whatever, I'll just go. We went. I never told my mom at even that moment. I never, because she was not going to put any action. She was not to do, even if she was going to put action, there was nothing that was going to change. Everything was maybe gonna be the worst, because she never had a voice like to talk like a woman of her own. Everybody was like, you are a nobody woman. Your husband died long time ago. You what can you say? So she was never allowed to talk. So we came back home in that our circle house. We lived, and then life was still not fair. My mom started looking for business, so she couldn't find something to do again better, because it was a little bit dry season. So and if it's dry age, if it's dry, it's very 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 worst, very very worst. So my mom started looking for like a house girl job. She got it in how do you call this place? She got it in another center called, I forgot. There is a center called Kanem Hapo. Guys, I left there a long time ago, so I can't remember all those names sites. So she got a job there, and then she was as a house girl. You know, my mom 1,000 was her salary every month. 1,000 Kenya shillings. That is only $10. That was her salary every month. And then she was being disrespected, so she went there for us. She left it. She left me and my younger brother, and this my step brother and my big brother. I know you can now imagine how things were, because she left me with the beast. The beast that is the controller of the home, that beats everyone and does not care. So my mom left us there. I was like, okay, God, I'm ready for the beatings and all of that. She left. We started struggling. We go to the farm, tunachuna mrenda, tunakuja tunapika. Life was harsh. We could not even afford a meal, a small meal a day, even a half of it. We couldn't. So tunaenda kwa farm, we go to the farm, tunachuna mrenda na kunde. Sasa kunde ndio ugali, mrenda ni mboga. We cook, we boil it with the salt, as long as you have salt. Alafu unajua hizo vitu lazima utumie magadi ama baking powder. So our baking powder and magadi ilikuwa hizo mchanga ya meko. Mchanga ya meko ndio tunapika nayo. That was our meal. Most of the time that was we used to eat. Na porridge, brown porridge. And oh man, we used to have, that was brown porridge ndio tunakunywa, brown ugali, and kama tuko na unga, kama tuna unga kunde ndio ugali. Kama tuko na unga, hiyo unga inawekwa ya uji as breakfast for tomorrow, because we don't have enough. So hatuwezi pika ugali, and tomorrow we also need to eat. So we will use unga as a porridge thing, and then we cook kunde as ugali na mrenda as mboga. We struggle with that all the time, and my brother was doing his worst things with me. If he likes, if he doesn't like, he had a girlfriend too that could come and visit him, until one day my mom came back. So when my mom came back, this is what happened. She was coming in that Kasako house yenye imetoboka. When she was coming, she was at the gate. The moment she got at the gate,